Hey guys, what is going on? Well, I'm back and I'm here to do a little demonstration on swaging and brazing tonight actually. Sorry. So what I got here is a 1/4 inch ACR tubing. ACR, for those of you who don't know, who are just getting into understanding air conditioning and refrigeration, is ACR stands for air conditioning and refrigeration tubing. That's what they call it, ACR tubing. So right now, I'll show you a little piece here that I set up. I put this together myself. I have some little 90s here, some brazed joints here, and up to the clamp. Right now I'm going to show you how to demonstrate how to braze and swage copper tubing. So we're going to get started on that. Alright. So first thing is you want to clean your end that you cut. So basically each end you decide on you want to braze. You're going to start on brazing or swaging. You want to clean it with some sandpaper or emery cloth, whichever's your choice. So I'm going to do that right now. This guy. You want to clean it pretty good, because whenever you're brazing, you don't want to braze when the copper is, where you're brazing is all oxidized. You want to have clean copper, because you want to get better heat transfer onto the copper, so in order for your braze to melt and be welded in between the joints of both pieces of copper. So there you go. Clean end right here. Just do a little adjustment here. So that kind of slipping off the sleeve clamp. Okay. There we go. Alright, so the next step is basically the burr where you cut, because you got that little excess copper inside. And I know you can't show you guys more on I have the camera pointed, but if you notice, whenever you're cutting copper, you have if you ever cut copper, you'll see that the holes inside, the diameter is thicker. Well, technically it's not really that thick. What you got there is excess copper being pushed in as you're cutting with the cutting wheel of this cutting tool here. This is a pipe cutter. And as you're slightly squeezing and rotating it, and you're squeezing, you're cutting through the copper, but you're also pushing just a small amount of copper in, which causes excess copper. And what you want to do is you want to take that excess copper off, so you could make your fittings fit, or you want to make a flare joint or a swage joint. So what you want to do is, you have on most copper pipe cutting tools, you have a deburring tool as well. The back of that flips open. So I'm going to do that right now. Show you just taking off the excess copper, cleaning it up. Just trying to be quick as possible here, guys. I don't want to keep dragging the video on. So you want to clean it up really nice, really good, but you don't want to keep pushing in too deep to the point where you're going to end up coning it by accident. So there we go. Okay. And you gotta be careful. Some of these swage kits are pretty sharp, so you don't want to cut yourself. It's gonna take a little bit of those shavings off around the rim. Now, sorry, but I don't have another camera. I mean, I have my tablet, but it's charging right now. And normally, well, I did have a GoPro camera, which would have been perfect for this, so you guys could see up close what I'm actually doing. So let me bring it towards you guys actually. So there it is. See, now I widened the hole a little bit because I had that excess copper, which looked pretty tight. Oops, just drop that for a second. So I'm going to show you the difference actually. So here it is, right? So you guys can see it. And see the difference between this end and this end. Now you see the difference. The hole is a little smaller because that's the excess copper from when I cut it with the cutting tool. and it pushed some of the copper that it was squeezing on into pushing it in towards the diameter of the inner part of the copper tubing. So that's why you have the deburring. So you want to take all that excess copper out, and this is the end result. You get a nice, wide, clean copper tubing. So the next thing, we're going to swage it. So what you want to do is you want to lay it flat anywhere, or get a C-clamp or a pipe clamp. You want to clamp it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to clamp this end down with this C-clamp here. So right now is what I pretty much have. Now you don't want to tighten it or over tighten it. So I'm just going to keep it just like this for now. And you want to use what we call here is a swage tool. Now, what this is used for is to make a swage. Meaning, what a swage is that it widens up the end of the copper tubing, and it creates a cup. It looks like kind of like a suction cup, but it creates a cup so that the other piece, the straight copper, can go sit right in, and then you can braze around it to create a joint. So here's the tool that we use to make the swage cut. And I'm about to show you right now how it works. So basically, you want to take this, you want to take the end, you want to drop it in. And it's always best to use a ball peen hammer. It's lighter, it's more effective. Try not to use a regular claw hammer. The head is too big and it's too much of a weight. These ball peens are really perfect for this, for doing these little, to do a swage. So keep in mind also to keep your fingers away. You don't want to whack it to a point where it's like you're driving a nail. Just want to give it a few taps. Nothing crazy. Just go light. Just be delicate. You don't want to end up splitting or swaging it in too deep to the point where it's going to cone up and split. Then you got to cut and make a new one. So I'll show you right now how it works. You just drop it in. Create a few taps. Okay. Then now it's starting to sit in, so now you want to keep hitting it until it starts to form into a cup. Now you don't want to go too far up into this hex joint here, because what will happen is when you make the swage, it'll go, and if you go too far, you create a flare. That's not going to cut it. It won't cut it when you start making, start brazing the joints together. And when it comes down to air conditioning, you always want to keep these swages perfect, enough that it'll fit with the other, with the straight piece and create a joint connection. So there you go. Okay, this is not holding too well, but I'm gonna keep trying. All right, now she's going in. I'm actually pushing it. I'm actually pushing the C-clamp. So what I can do is I can just use my swage, my flaring tool here, a flaring kit or swage kit. Keep dropping stuff. Sorry guys, I'm being a little clumsy, but I'm just trying to get along with this video as much as fast as I can. So it's gonna prove a little difficult. I mean, I'm really close to this 90. Alright, so I clamp it down, tighten it up a little bit. I don't want to tighten too much. Put my swage tool on it, start swaging. May not look as good, but nobody's perfect. But practice does make perfect for those of you. So this is just an example. This is not, I'm not really making any joints for an actual job. So this is just a sample of a demonstration of how to do it. So basically, hit it. So it starts to cup. And there we go. Alright. Loosen it up. there you go. So there you go, guys. That is a perfect swage. So now next step, I'm going to show you. So now you want to connect it to another piece and extend this. What you do now is, before I cut this copper, I'm actually going to clean it yet again, because you want to have clean joints. Oh, this got a little wet. So let me just grab another piece of sandpaper. Okay. So I'm going to take this piece here from the spare copper foil, and I'm going to clean my end first. Okay. You always want to do this, and like I said, you want to have that good heat transfer when you're about to braise, and you're going to make sure that your fittings are fitting together too. These fit together, they join together nicely. You don't want to ever braise when the copper is oxidized. You won't get a very good heat transfer. I mean, you may be able to braise and the braise will melt, but you can also contaminate the system too when you're doing this on an AC unit. Okay, so there you go, nice and clean. See the difference? You probably can't tell because it's a little light. The light here is a little off. So what I'm going to do next is you still have to deburr, because when it comes to air conditioning, the refrigerant will have a hard time basically flowing through in this space, and you can cause fluctuation of pressures and possibly cause non-condensables to get in or get captured and get clogged. So always remember to clean it out. Clean out this end again. Try to do a little quicker this time. Okay. Sandpaper a little bit. Clean it up. Okay. She's ready right there. Now I'm going to cut it. It's dragging on already in 20 minutes, so I'm going to be fairly quick with you guys here. Like I said, I don't want to keep making this video drag. So I'm going to cut it now. See, I got my pipe cutter. I'm going to start twisting it now. So whenever you start twisting and cut, you'll feel that it's getting a little loose, so you want to tighten it a little bit and keep going. So you start feeling like it's a little loose, you keep tightening it just a little bit, quarter turn. I go every quarter turn. And it just cuts right in. Okay, there we go. I'll set this down. So this is my piece. And now you're going to see here, cut the piece, and look at that. Piece fits. Okay? So next thing I'm going to do is, well, it's time to braise. So this is a bit of a close cut, so I'm not going to clamp it down and braise it like this. I'm going to just do it like this. So I'm going to get my C-clamp and get it ready. Let's get this piece out for a moment. And I'm just going to clamp it down. Just not clamp it down too tight, because you don't want to damage the copper. Alright, looks like we're looking good. Okay, there it is. Good piece. Clean end to the swage. And now we can start braising. what we like to sweat. Meaning, whenever you go to an air conditioning supply house and you ask for a unit or I don't know, a joint or something, most time on units they'll say, well, I want a 16 seer unit 410A with sweat connections. And this is what they mean by sweat connections. Meaning we mostly sweat out the joint and then we braze it. And what they mean by sweat, they keep the pieces here until they start to heat up, meaning that they want braze joints. When they say flare is a different type of joint, which I will show you guys on my next video next time around. When I ever get a chance, I'll show you how to flare copper, make a flare joint. Okay, so I'm gonna get started now. Got my torch here. And by the way, I am thinking safety. I have my fire extinguisher next to me in case of fire. Alright, so here we go. I'm gonna turn the can. Alright, there she goes. Got my scorcher light igniter. You want to keep it, heat up the joint. This is what they call sweating. You're going to sweat the joint. What you might do is dab a little bit, so that means it's not ready yet. It's starting to heat up now. I'm going to use some of my braze. Alright, there she goes. And that's it. That's all she wrote. Take a look at it. Alright, not too bad. Now I'm just gonna cool it off. Get some nice and wet. Cool off that joint. There we go. Ooh, man, that's hot. This actually, oh man, that is hot. You can see it's steaming already. Well, this helps cool it off faster. Alright, and it looks a little cleaner. And it's really hot, so I'm going to give it a few minutes to cool off. Well, this joint is not as good as my last few joints, but you guys get the drift of it. This side's pretty cool, so I can touch this end. So, there you have it. That's my braze side. Brazed in. Braze joint. Get a better focus on the camera here for it. And that's how it's done, guys, ladies and gentlemen. I know I got some bad angles. The lighting is terrible in here, but I'm trying to do my best to show you guys what was done, how it was made. As you can see, I just did the other the other few joints here. There's one here, one there, and that's just the one we just did. So that I just did just now to show you guys what I'm talking about. And it looks pretty solid. I mean, it's not the best of joints, but it's, you guys get the picture. So always remember these procedures, and you know, be safe. And I will see you guys. Oh, there it goes. That's my other one. Leave it in there. And I will see you guys on the next video. Next round will be flaring. So stick around, guys. Like my video, subscribe to my channel, and share. And you guys have a good night, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.